Hello everyone, my name is Olivia Savage and I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at Newswire. Welcome to today's SmartStar educational video on media pitching. Did you know that 57% of journalists receive anywhere between 50 and 500 pitches in their email inbox per week? That is just a staggering volume of messages, and it really takes some skill to be able to stand out in a crowd that large. In today's video, we're going to give you a crash course on all things media pitching. And as usual, I'm happy to welcome back my colleague, Maria Marhefka. How are you, Maria?
Hi, Olivia. I'm doing great, and I'm excited to dig into this topic today.
All right, so let's get things started off with just covering what media pitching is.
So a media pitch is a short and to the point email. It could also be a phone call or even a social media direct message. But the goal is that it's written specifically for the media. And the goal is to get your main message across in the most concise manner possible. And it's important to note that when it comes to media pitches, they should not be one size fits all. They should be unique to the person that you're sending it to. Catering the content of your media pitch is a great way to show that you've done your homework and you've done your research and understand why the journalist or maybe even the influencer would find your press release and your messaging valuable and interesting, not only to them, but more importantly to their end user.
Excellent. And so when it comes to actually crafting a media pitch, what should somebody keep in mind as they're getting started?
Before you draft a media pitch, I suggest that you ask yourself a few questions to get started. The first question is it newsworthy? Would the publication's audience truly care about this information? If you have any sort of hesitation, or maybe you're kind of having to think about it a little bit longer than you should, that should be a signal that maybe your story that you're trying to pitch missed the mark. And conversely, a quick and confident yes to both of those questions is the byproduct of an attention-grabbing, newsworthy press release. Next, ask yourself, is this the right contact? This sounds like something Captain Obvious would ask, but it shouldn't be overlooked. Journalists in some respects are like digital nomads, and they move from publication to publication, and they even switch up their areas of focus from time to time. That's why before sending your media pitch, you want to do your due diligence in making sure that the person on the receiving end is in fact the correct contact that you should be reaching out to. Finally, is your media pitch personalized? As I said before, your media pitches should not be kind of copy and paste, one size fits all. They should be unique to the person that you're sending it to. And that's why you should avoid mass emails and make sure that each media pitch is unique to the recipient. In your pitch, make reference to some of their past pieces that they've written that are close and aligned to what you're about to pitch them. If you highlighted how your product or service would be of interest to their audience and why, take time to personalize your media pitch. Add a few extra minutes to your bandwidth to really focus on making this media pitch feel like it's one-to-one from you to the end user. Doing so is going to go a long way in building a solid relationship with key media contacts, which is imperative whenever you want to earn media mentions for your business.
Yes, absolutely. Each media pitch should be individualized for that contact. All right, and now that we've covered the basics about media pitching, let's dive into common mistakes you should avoid.
Now, the first mistake you want to avoid is having a lackluster subject line. Crafting a subject line for a media pitch takes equal parts creativity and skill to get your message across in as few words as possible. Remember, the subject line of your pitch is the first thing a journalist will read. Make it memorable and make them want to open your email. Here are a few tips to do that. First, make your subject line clear, concise, and entice them. So keeping your subject line between 60 to 80 characters and 8 to 10 words max is a great starting point. This will force you to simplify your message and get right to the point. Now, don't be vague. Give them a little bit of something to entice them. And with that, you want to share exactly what they can expect to learn in your email. Don't mince your words. Get straight to the point. Next, make it obvious. Tell the journalist the exact reason for your email. Is it a pitch, exclusive, story idea, segment, whatever it is, make sure to share that in the subject line. And finally, highlight an offer. Are you sharing important information in the form of maybe raw data, graphs, multimedia in your media pitch? If you are, make it known in the subject line. Doing so will signal to the journalist you're reaching out to them for a specific reason that deserves their attention. Next is bad timing, which can totally derail your media pitch efforts. Now, just like with most things in life, timing is everything, and this is especially true when it comes to media pitching. Before sending a pitch, think of a journalist's day. Emails typically flood into their inbox first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day, they're in editorial meetings and in the throes of writing. And with all these moving pieces in mind, do some testing on your own of different times to send a pitch. Consider sending a pitch mid-morning after the early morning influx of emails, or maybe even around lunchtime before the afternoon deadline hits. Now, this is a tip that I really want to emphasize, but avoid sending media pitches late Friday afternoon and on the weekends, because journalists are people too. Respect their time outside of the office, and that will better your odds of them picking up your media pitch. And finally, your media pitch is not a sales pitch. Of course, the end goal of a media pitch is about you, but you don't want to come off that way whenever sending a pitch. When crafting pitch content, keep the focus on the recipient and their target audience. What value can you provide them? How does your story relate to other pieces they've written in the past? And how does your story align with the interests of its readers? Keeping the focus on the journalist and their audience is a great way to put yourself in a better position to likely be rewarded with an earned media opportunity.
Absolutely. So we've gone through some of those basics. You want to make sure that you customize your media pitch for the recipient. You need to have a really stellar subject line. You need to send things with good timing throughout the week, and you need to avoid crafting your media pitch like a sales pitch. So that should give you a great baseline for your next media pitch. Thank you as always, Maria, and thank you for watching. If you have any questions about media pitching, this is one of our areas of specialty, so feel free to leave a comment below. You can find us on social media, or you can visit newswire.com. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.